Blackhawks power play finally scored again, and Connor Bedard is officially better than Macklin Celebrini. Hawks win 6-3 against the San Jose Sharks in their final home game until March 6th after the Olympic break. It's crazy. I cannot believe we have to wait that long. Anyway, Hawks win 6-3. Finally, they snap a 5-game winning streak. They improve to 22, 25, and 9, which I know I say improve, even though it's still below 500, but it's a better record than they've had in a long time. Um, Great game. I mean, they just exploded for offense quickly in this game, and it got a little bit scary at a couple points, thinking that the Sharks were going to come back. But credit to the Hawks, they held down the fort. Um, yeah, I'm not going to go over every goal, but what I will touch on is the Hawks finally score on the power play. They get a power play pretty early on. It's a 0-0 game. Um, they win the draw. They're setting up good. I believe the puck got cleared once. They broke in just fine. And Connor Bedard on a great pass. You have Tyler Bertuzzi behind the net. Makes a nice pass to Tavo, who could have shot that puck, but instead he makes a beautiful pass to Connor Bedard, who one times it short side. You can tell he was just jacked up to get that goal. United Center pops. It's 1-0. Great start to the game, and they build on it. They make it 2-0, then they make it 3-0, then they make it 4-0. And the whole time, all I could think about on stream, I was live tonight, by the way, for this game on YouTube. It was a lot of fun. If you haven't watched my live streams before, be sure to come for those. I'll be live again Wednesday when they're in Columbus. Anyway, um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the whole time during when they were up 4-0 and the route up to being up 4-0, all I could think about was the Minnesota game. Uh, blowing a 3-0 lead. I understand Minnesota's a better team than San Jose, but any team that has Macklin Celebrini can come back. So I was worried. And the Sharks started to make their comeback. They made it 4-1, and then like 30 seconds later, Mikheyev scored to make it 5-1. They would end up getting two more. They got one before the end of the second. Then they made it 5-3 early in the third. I got pretty scared again, and then the Hawks put it away. Ryan Donato made it 6-3. And that line of Mikheyev and Donato, uh, what a night. And I know there's one more person on that line, uh, but I'm not going to mention him because I only want to talk about Ryan Donato and Ilya Mikheyev, which is probably pretty unfair to he who shall not be named. Um, Man, each of them, they both had 4 points tonight. They were unbelievable. Ryan Donato had 2 goals, 2 assists. Ilya Mikheyev had a goal and 3 assists. Ryan Donato was a +5 tonight, a +5. Ilya Mikheyev a +4. Connor Bedard had a good night. Of course, it was his 23rd of the year, which ties his career high from last year of 23. I believe he had 22 in his rookie year. Surprisingly, he only had one shot on goal tonight, but he made it count. It went in. Um, Connor Murphy continues to be hot. He scores his fourth goal of the calendar year. I was going to say fourth goal of January, but technically it's not January anymore. But he's just upping that trade value. I love it. I'm happy with it. Keep doing your thing, Connor Murphy. Sam Renzel. I definitely want to talk about Sam Renzel. Um, he looked tonight like the Sam Renzel we saw at the end of last year. Do you remember at the end of last year when he played, what was it? I think it was like 9 games or 18 games? No, I think Levshinov had 18 games. I think it was 9 games. Um, and he looked. We thought, he played with Alex Vlasic, and the way he played, we all thought, oh my God, this guy is a top pairing defenseman. Uh, from his NHL debut, like he's not going to see any AHL time next year. He's already a top pairing defenseman. I just punched the table. I apologize. You could hear that. Um, and then obviously this year didn't quite go as we all thought, as planned. He ended up needing some time in Rockford, which is fine. He's like 21 years old. I mean, it's totally fine. Um, and he came up last game and he looked pretty good. He looked all right. He didn't look bad. He looked pretty good. But tonight he was fantastic. He was skating with confidence. He was skating with the puck. He was making plays. He was way better defensively. His stick checks were better tonight. He had a nice goal. It was a beautiful goal. Sam Renzel. I mean, what a shot. This kid can shoot. His second career goal. He played over 20 minutes tonight. He played 20-38. He had 3 shots on goal. And I don't know the final number, but in the second intermission, I checked and he had 5 shot attempts. Ultimately ended the game with 3 shots on goal. He might have had more than 5 shot attempts. I don't remember if he had a shot attempt in the third period, but even if he capped off at 5, I mean that's a good night for Sam Rizzo. He looked good on the power play. Um, some other Wyatt Kaiser, his D partner for tonight. Wyatt Kaiser, I said it on stream. I don't think I've ever done one of these post games, even before the time of doing these post game shows. I don't think I've ever after a game said, on camera or not, Wyatt Kaiser didn't have a good night. I don't think I've ever said that before. This guy is so consistent. He's so good on both ends of the ice. I can't praise this guy enough. I mean, he's so good. I remember in the off season going into training camp when he was holding out on the contract negotiations, we were all kind of thinking like, who the hell does this guy think he is? And he showed us he held out for a reason. He knew what he was capable of, and he's been damn good this year. Him and I mean, right up there was Vlasic. He's been our most consistent defenseman, one of our most consistent players. He's been outstanding. So those four, Mikheyev, Donato, Rinzel, and Kaiser, all had some of their best games of the year. I mean, I think Kaiser's had better games. It wasn't one of his best games. He was really good. But Rinzel, Donato, and Mikheyev, it was definitely up there for their best games of the year. I mean, all three of them played absolutely unbelievable tonight. Um, Burakovsky, just the guy's got to sit. I said it on stream. He's probably not going to sit next game in Columbus, but he needs to sit. And I'm just praying that whatever it is, whether it's mental or physical, whatever it is, I really hope this 3 week break fixes whatever he needs to fix because it's just unacceptable the way he's playing, and it's infuriating that Jeff Blashill won't hold him accountable. Like, yeah, sure, he's bumped him down in the lineup. He played a cup of coffee outside of the or outside of the top 6. That's it. This guy's not uh having to pay the price of poor play like some of these young guys, and it's really unfair. Um, I want to talk about the power play. Um, they scored tonight. Obviously, that was great. They were 0 for 26 going into tonight over the last 10 games, and obviously they finally scored. They go 1 for 4 tonight, which is 25%, which is right on the nose of around where you want to be. So if you go 1 for 4 on the power play every game, you're doing something right. So it was a good night tonight for the power play. But one thing I wanted to touch on was in practice yesterday. In the scrum after practice, I was watching video of it, and Jeff Blashill came out and said, to all of our surprise and excitement, he said, power play's not working. He said, the break ins and the face off, something needs to change. And his method of practicing that was he says he's a big fan of going from static to chaos. Static being they go 5-on-0. They run the power play with no penalty killers, 5-on-0, and they bring in the chaos, which is, 4 penalty killers. And they're working on new things, all that. And so me and a lot of other people presumably were really excited to see how the power play is going to look going into tonight. And yes, they scored. And they looked good when they were in the zone, which they always have. And I'm torn because the breakout looked better in the sense like they got in the zone more. I didn't notice an actual difference in the break-in. It was the same pushback. It was the same Tavo to Bedard back and forth with the occasional dump in. One thing I did notice was the forecheck was better. When they did dump it in, the forecheck was better. That's one thing I noticed, but it was a little underwhelming that I didn't really visually see a lot of changes. But I guess it doesn't matter because the result was there. They scored. So I suppose who cares if I noticed a big change? The result was there. But going forward, it's going to be interesting. Like going forward, if they keep struggling, like yeah, they scored tonight, but going forward, if they keep struggling, if they don't score a power play goal in Columbus, say they go like 0 for 3 or 0 for 2 or 0 for 4, they come back from the Olympic break and it takes them 2 or 3 games to score, then I'd be like, okay, nothing has actually changed. So I think we got to give it a couple more games at least to see. Certainly, at least Columbus to see. Um, yeah, and the penalty kill stays number 1 in the league, baby. They go 4 for 4 tonight. So Um, Overall, like a great night. And something, I noticed too, tonight was, and I was saying this to my girlfriend after the game because she missed a big part of the game, and she asked me, um, what was the difference tonight? Like they won this game. They haven't won in a while. They lost 5 in a row. Like, what was the difference tonight? And in my opinion, like this was a game, and I haven't been able to say this for a while, but this was a game where you can tell from the moment the puck dropped to the moment the final horn went, they wanted to win this game. Effort was there because that's been an issue with them. The effort isn't always there when they're down in a game, even when it's like a 1-goal game. Like come to the third period, their effort is just takes a dive bomb. It seems like a lot of the times, or it's either the end of the game or the start of the game. There's always some point in the game where their effort is just not there. And I said to her, tonight is one of those games where I didn't see that at all tonight. They looked like they wanted to win. They looked like they were going to win this game the whole time. It looked like they had the mentality of we are not losing this game throughout the whole game. And I think to me that was the difference. Um, is that they wanted to win this game for the entire 60. So to me, that was the difference tonight. And it was nice to see. I mean, that's the hockey we saw in the first 2 months of the year. It was hard, physical, fast. We're not out of any game hockey. Um, so it was nice to see that again because we haven't seen that at least consistently for a long time. We've seen one-offs here and there, but the last time it was consistent was the first 2 months of the season was, October, November, and maybe part of December. Um, so yeah, it was a good game, and if this had been the last game going into the Olympic break, I would feel good, and I'd go into the Olympic break happy. But we have one more game. So are they going to bring it on Wednesday? Are they going to send us into the Olympic break happy, or are they going to absolutely shit the bed again? Um, we'll see. But Bedard's heating up. Spencer Knight didn't play a great game, but he's been good. Nazar looked all right tonight. Um, the depth looked really, really good. Overall, not many complaints. We have one question from Twitter. If you weren't aware, after every single game, I take to Twitter and I ask if anybody has any questions. Say we have one question, and it's an interesting one. It's not directly related to the game, but it's from B Sakura. He says, "Why don't you do the post games live? It would be awesome to hear your recap live." And this is actually something I do want to do. Um, but it's something I'm hoping to implement next season. So it is in the plans. I do want to start doing these post games live and interacting and answering questions. Um, in real time, but it's something I would like to implement next season. So going forward, we're going to stay the same. They're going to stay like this, but going into next season, that's definitely the plan, and that's definitely something I want to do. So obviously, be sure to come back next season. Um, and I've said it before, but I'll say it again. If you weren't aware, I've been going live every game right here on YouTube. It's been a lot of fun. So I highly recommend coming and hanging out. We have a really cool group of about 6 or 7 people that are in the chat every game, and it's a lot of fun. It's a real fun little community we got there. Chatting in real time about what we're seeing. It's a good time. So I'd highly recommend coming out for that. That's about it for this post game. Great game all around from the Hawks. I loved what I saw. Please, Chicago, keep this momentum going into the game on Wednesday. Have us feeling good going into the Olympic break so we can watch some fun, intense, stressful international hockey and come back to Chicago feeling good. So that is all from me. Be sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any Hawks fans in your life, please send them uh, this video. Please tell them about the channel. It would mean a lot and it would help me out a lot. So that's all from me. I'll see you on the post game Wednesday after Columbus. It's in! Bedard! Let's go! Connor Bedard! 1-0. Fuck yeah. Go Mikheyev. Mikheyev's got a lane. Oh, what a shot! Ilya Mikheyev. Let's go! Man, he is so good. If they let him go or if they trade him, I'm gonna be like, they gotta re-sign this guy. What a shot. And a good play. Was that Dickinson that flipped it out to him? All right, 2-on-1 maybe. Nazar, Bedard. Bedard stops up. He's got so much room, and he scores. What a shot from Connor Bedard. My word. That was beautiful. Too bad it doesn't matter. That was such a nice shot. That stop-up toe drag, he loves it. Bang.